Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked. We're doing a no run-through review for Carnival Zombie 2nd Edition. Boy, was this not worth the wait. The 4-year wait. We've had this conversation before on what's worse. A painfully, boring game or a objectively bad game. And an objectively bad game, I think you could still have some fun. Crap movies like Sharknado that people still can enjoy, versus things like the new Prey. That's just whatever. This was 2.5 hours of watching. So there's not even anything to make fun of it because this is good. And that's kind of where I'm at for this game. Is I find this game boring,
repetitive.
And repetitive and kind of tedious. But it's not bad. I can see a lot of people really getting into this. And I remember backing it. Probably my thought process, it's been so long, was, I don't like zombies, but this seems like a really cool theme.
Yeah.
And it is. And the way that turn structures work is fine, but I'm just over here falling asleep during the night phase, where it's okay, yeah, I'll attack. Okay, yeah. Drop the cubes. Yeah. Alright, let's do that over and over again.
Yeah, most of the night phase seems to be set up and moving things around on the board. Very little of what do we need to do in order to survive. Because it's obvious most of the time. There's not much strategy.
Yeah, I mean,
everything's coming at you from all sides, so there's not a whole lot of strategy about where to use our powers. There is some. I will definitely give that there's some, but
yeah, I mean, it's not the game doesn't play itself. It's not it's not that kind of just you have no agency in anything. You do.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel. It's not exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the cubes have something to do with that. I get why they did that, because it's just way easier for the game to function that you pull from this bag.
Oh, yeah.
From the abyss.
Rather than making individual monsters that are harder to kill.
Right.
You make tons of them that are easy.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Which is typical for defense mode.
What sucks is this game came out way too late.
Yeah.
It's 2022 by the time this came out. It should have came out in 2018. In the first edition, I don't even remember when that came out. But at this point, take Project Elite, which I don't know if either of you have played, is a real-time tower defense game. Okay. And that game is phenomenal, because it works kind of a similar way. You have miniatures for the scrubs that you just mow down, but then occasionally you have bosses come out, and those are a little bit more, they're more unique, kind of like how it is here. They have special rules, and they're a pain in the ass when they do come out, but the game just flows so fast that you're just constantly, feeling like a badass. Right. And here, every time a new night phase would start, it's ugh. How many do we have left? 3? We have 3 nights hours left? Ugh. And so that's just kind of where it's why is it so long? And then you just look ahead and you're oh my god, we have 2 more whole days left.
Right.
To get over there. And then we have the finale. It's no, I can't spend 8 hours playing this game. Alright, so what are your guys' thoughts? Zach, what do you think?
There's not a lot to the game, it seems like. This wasn't developed by a well-known company. It seems it has a very thick feel of not being
polished.
No, being from an Eastern European country or something.
Yeah.
I say that, but then Awakened Realms is really polished, so
that's true.
That's not really a good example, but it seems. It doesn't seem like it was made in the United States. Yeah. I could be wrong. It just has a feel. It's it's disjointed. The rulebook's disjointed.
Yeah, the rulebook is all over the place.
Player cards are disjointed. This could very easily, from someone who just has common sense, be cleaned up. And I'm not gonna shit on the game. I think it's okay. I generally don't like games that have, well, this guy does this little thing because you look over here and then you got to look up in the book what the little guy does, and then this guy does this little thing, and this little box of cardboard over here does a thing, but you got to read what it says because it doesn't say on the tile.
Right.
And like, I don't like that. I mean, if you really enjoy a game and you play it a lot, you're gonna memorize that shit eventually. But like walking into a game, I realize that they want to make something not language reliant, but it's irritating to play. It's irritating to learn. I instantly am kind of like, okay, what's going on? But it has some interesting stuff going on. I haven't played a lot of tower defense games. It has some cool ideas. The cubes and placing them out could get really laborious after a while, especially after having to do it 4 in a row.
Right. Well, then you do it. Then you go to the day phase, which is virtually like a group activity. You all decide where to go as a group, and then you
recover and prepare,
and pretty much recover, and get items to prepare for the night. So, and the day phase goes by so quick because it's like, okay, I'll search. Boom. Okay, it's an item. Okay, I finally got one. All right, so then there's that. Then you go through that. Then it's like day phase, and then it's just like comes to a screeching halt of where you have to. Okay. That's 3. Well, first you have to shuffle these and place them out. How many? Oh, we have 2. Okay, well then these 2 come out, and then we get.
Do these stay out in between scenarios? No.
No, those come off, and then so because you're at a whole new location.
Yeah.
And then you go, all right, let's start in North 1 or South 1. There's that. Having fun, like while one person does this.
Because the complexity is not, the strategy level is not that difficult. I can see this, especially later on, whenever you have 8 different, what are these called?
Fortifications.
The bad
obstacles.
ones. Yeah, the obstacles going out. I can see it just happening where it's like, oh, okay, they did a thing. Oh, there's nothing we could do to stop it because you're gonna have a limited amount. There's always gonna be something that takes precedence over everything.
Right. And then it's just the boss. The bosses follow you from night to night if you don't kill them. But that's the thing. It's like the bosses were just kind of there. I never felt like an overwhelming presence of like, oh, it's like initially they have that, oh shit, that's a big deal, and then it's like, okay, focus fire, and we killed it.
Yeah,
like, I mean, kind of like in Left 4 Dead. If you guys have ever played Left 4 Dead, where it's kind of like when those unique ones come out, yeah, you do all focus fire, and then they're taken care of. And if you don't, then they're a problem. So it does make thematic sense that they're not super hard to kill, but
yeah,
it's I don't know. I just think Tower. We played Kingdom Rush. You remember that? Super fun. The app that was made into a board game.
Yeah.
That was a tower defense game, and I was like, why would anyone choose to play this over the app? I don't get that.
Right.
Like,
because we didn't know there was an app at the time.
Kat did.
She looked it up and started playing.
And then she played it, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is way better." And that's kind of the problem, the fundamental problem of board games, tower defense as board games, is it's just so monotonous when you're doing it physically.
Right.
And there's not enough here, at least for me, to justify the fact that you do the same thing every single night. Like, nothing changes from night to night except where some obstacles might be, and you might have some different items. Yeah. But your actions are still the same. Your actions still come down to, alright, I'll shoot. Okay. Let me drop them there.
Oh, man. They're back.
Damn, I tried to... Dang it!
Oh, it was so close.
And then we had all those back. And so you just go through the motions to get to a finale. And I feel like that this is the game they wanted to make. The different scenarios. Because these are all unique, and they have a bunch. They have a bunch of different finales. But they, like, for some reason this wasn't enough substance. They wanted you to have the campaign feel of building up to escaping out of Venice.
See, and for me, it's kind of the opposite. It feels to me like they played Castle Panic and then said, okay, so how can we make this a lot more complicated and call it a sophisticated game.
Right.
And they added on layers of complications. They added on a whole separate game, and then they added on a whole separate mini game.
Yeah.
And then they added more randomness.
Yeah.
And then, okay, because Castle Panic, people play it a couple of times. It's fun, it's cool, but it's very limited.
Yeah.
And then it gets relegated to the kids.
Yeah.
This is, well, maybe we can make something really complicated for grown-ups.
Adults, yeah. The adult Castle Panic.
And let's mash together 3 or 4 different games. Mm-hmm. And then it's all working toward a goal, which, as I understand, I don't even know what the end goals are, but 2 of them seemed like, oh, you made it.
There's the boat, which is you take the pile of corpses thing and you flip it, then you have the boat, and then you assign, okay, someone is on the helm, someone is on the crow's nest, someone's on the bridge, and then you take these, shuffle these up, and then you put 3 in each whatever pit or quadrant, and then you're trying to align these to the quadrant you're escaping from. So, like, if this one was in the first cave, you flip it. Okay, well, that's south too. Or that's south. Mm-hmm. So we need to get this one, and you can do actions to move them over. So you're trying to basically get it to where you have all 3 cards of the same direction. That's how you escape.
Okay.
All the while, zombies are coming in and attacking the boat, and you have barricades. You put these all around, and that is your boat's health.
Gotcha. So it's a completely separate game.
Pretty much, yeah.
With some similar mechanics.
Right, and that's the thing is, like, so you're right. They took this and they put everything and just threw it. Threw it at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, and then they picked up all the stuff that didn't stick and put it in a box.
Because the different scenarios remind me of Robinson Crusoe. But the whole game of Robinson Crusoe is that scenario.
Right.
Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything by choosing to play a scenario. It's just like, oh, these are just how we win this time, but all the components are still there. Mm-hmm. And you guys have played Robinson Crusoe, so it's like, that's what that feels like. But in here, it's like, oh, well, you can just play a scenario. Yeah, but you're not doing the tower defense stuff.
Right.
Like, you're not doing any of that, so you're not playing any of this. You just pick, oh, well, let's do the boat. Oh, okay. Yeah, we just try and escape off the boat.
Right.
And I find that so bizarre from a design standpoint. It's like, hey, do you want to play a campaign where you do the same thing over and over and over and over, and then you get to go to the fun stuff? Or do you want to do just the fun stuff? But you're missing out. Like, you're not utilizing a lot of really anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just so baffled by that as a decision.
Yeah.
It's like,
the individual characters and their powers and their items, I mean, that's all a cool idea, but that adds a whole level of strategy to a fundamentally random game. And so that just seems like a weird crossover that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I never felt like the characters were
different enough.
No, I mean, they have their roles to play. I mean, you have your sniper, you have your medic, you have your heavy gunner, captain who commands what other people do, your explosion expert or the engineer or whatever, and then I don't know, your rogue.
Mobility.
Yeah, mobility. So they're all there, and they all
rogue
can do, right? I was like, okay, you have your ranger, you have your healer, you have your tank, wizard, yeah. So they all. I guess I can't say they all didn't feel different. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't one of those cooperative games where it's like, like, if I do this and you do this, then we can do this really cool thing.
Yeah. We did that a couple of times, but
I didn't.
Like,
well, yes, we did combine actions to do something, but I guess I never felt like it was exciting.
Right.
And that's kind of where everything kind of boils down to, is like, I don't really have any particular gripe with this game. Like, if someone were to... But I was just so painfully bored and, like, nodding off from playing the game. But I'm the one running the abyss, so I have to stay awake. I can't imagine there's ever a scenario where someone was to be like, hey, do you want to play Carnival Zombie? And then I'd be like, yeah. It's like, whoa. And maybe...
I'm kind of curious to see Because it has a gold seal of approval.
From what?
Seal of
Dice
Excellence.
Tower.
Yeah, from the Dice Tower. Probably from all those years ago.
And I will even say, the artwork is very nice.
Yeah.
The figure's very nice, although I would at least want colored bases or painted colored
Oh
bases
yeah,
to differentiate them
these
easily.
menus would be.
They're big for paint, and many people will.
Yes.
And that's okay with me.
Yeah.
Because you've got your paint scale
And the
right
arts,
here.
exactly. Yeah.
When did the original come out?
Oh yeah, I was looking that up.
Probably 13 or 14.
Probably. I remember seeing the original.
I could see that being rated well if that's based off of the original. No,
Yeah, I'm very curious if they just took that seal from the first, first game. Because I remember Tom Vassell really liking this when it first came out.
There was demo copies of this new
2013.
edition, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Really?
Because there's videos online. I remember.
Yeah,
It got posted.
2013 is when this came out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the theme,
The theme is weird,
yeah.
but I like it. I think it's a cool theme because it's never done. Like if this was generic zombie or one of those where it's like the people are the real enemies, it's like shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like get over yourself.
Yeah.
I actually like the theme at the beginning, and actually after playing this, I kind of don't. I think
Is
that
it
the art
because you
cool.
can't like relate to any of these characters because you're just like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what the story is about. Like
Well, So as I understand it, and I watched a video, I think, of the original.
Yeah.
So the concept is people are in Venice partying, Carnival. I don't know if it's Mardi Gras as we call it.
Yeah.
But, it's some kind of a big public event party, and then Leviathan raises the dead and brings all the zombies in. And so we suddenly have to fight off zombies. So all of our character cards, beautiful artwork, but we're all in our party clothes.
Yeah.
With our assault weapons.
Like you bring to a party, my grenades and stuff.
We kind of look like zombies ourselves.
But how do you know that without watching the video?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it says ancient manuscripts speak of a Leviathan. It's talking about the Leviathan as the big bad. Because, he's the one bringing everyone to dead. And you're trying to escape Venice, hence why you have the boat, the aircraft, or the bridge. But you can also, if you get the holy hand grenade, or the holy bomb,
Now.
you can fight it, and you can kill it. But that's what makes me so mad about this game, is this stuff seems fun. The scenarios seem fun. Hell, I could even kind of see doing 1, maybe 2 nights of this to build up and be like, yeah, we're escaping, like you do in Left 4 Dead. Is you're running through the city, going from area to area until you are able to escape, or Back 4 Blood if you played that same company. But it's like, to get to the fun game, you have to play the not fun part.
Is that just so that we can get items to work to help with completing the final scenario? Because that's all we seem to be accumulating.
Yeah, that's pretty much my guess. I mean, there's really nothing that denotes like, oh, if you did this. So like the holy bomb. I mean, well, the holy bomb.
But also,
you have to get his item.
Agreed.
You're taking damage by losing barricades over time.
Right.
So it's balancing itself out. So it's just to play the game more,
Which again feels like a strategy game with way too much randomness.
This also seems. It seems like it did need a second edition.
I was thinking that too, yeah.
I can see your player characters being like a nice addition, but the boss zombies don't need to be there. This game's not.
I think they were in the original. They
didn't need to be in there for that either, honestly. I don't think. And they're nice. The miniature quality is nice. These.
Yeah, they're detailed. I mean, this has some weight to it. This is really cool.
Yeah.
The insert's actually not bad. I'm very surprised. Like, it functions pretty well. Like, because basically you take this out, and then there's like a little divot here for like all the bags, and then you just put this over it. So
that's good.
It's not, because some of these where it's like, hey, here's minis, and they're like every Awakened Realm game is like, okay, well this insert's useless because I can't, or because they give you 40 stacks of cardboard.
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know what took them so long.
Probably the miniatures. Honestly, if they and that's what they promised, so they have to follow through with it. I get that, but like if they didn't have all that shit, if they had lessened what they were producing,
My guess is a
Because
lot of it had
they're-
to do with production problem and supply problems.
from what I understand,
past few
miniatures
years.
are the reason that they wait for China for things. If they didn't produce that shit, they could produce a lot of that shit here.
True.
Okay.
So you eliminate all these issues by removing the fucking miniatures from
Yeah,
the game.
and it has standees.
Yeah.
Like, so they come with standees, which I kept in case I wanted to get things painted, if I wanted to paint my cubes.
I told you I played the Boys board game
Yeah.
at Gen Con, and completely different thing than this, but a more enjoyable game, way more thematic, and it has a ugly as fuck board in my opinion. I don't think the board's very interesting. This board is much better than this game. I can guarantee you that game is cheaper than this game. Mm-hmm. It's competitive. It's not cooperative. And the minis are completely unnecessary in it. Like you get the cardboard standees, and it's immersive with what you're doing. Like the story makes sense. You know what you're doing. He gave us like a 2-minute explanation of what was going on. It's like, okay, I got it, and that explanation is on the book, and you understand that going into the game.
Yeah.
This just is disjointed. I don't know why Leviathan is raising the dead. Is it maybe that's a thing? Leviathan, in my experience, has been like a water creature. I don't know.
It is.
I'm sure there's a story
and that's
behind
why
that.
Venice is sinking, and it's like
that
going
makes
into
sense.
yeah. That's what the foundation tokens are supposed to be. Is sections of the city are sinking.
Yeah. I think part of the theme problem is they assume a greater knowledge and understanding of Venice and that area of Italy, and like, which just doesn't carry over. I mean, I think it's for a European audience in that sense.
They have it in here actually for each number. Like has like so we were in, let's just say 4. This San Giovanni and Paolo Basilica. This ancient and imposing building is the mausoleum of the Doges of Venice. Here rest the ancient leaders of the city, offspring of a few aristocratic families which led to glory and then to ruin the daughter of the sea. Special action? No. So it's like they have like history and they have theme into it. Mm-hmm. It's just so left field of a theme that it almost seems like pretentious, kind of.
Yeah, I see that.
We're not like other zombie games. We're just like other tower defense games. Bad, but our theme is different. And that's the thing, is the theme is going to draw people in. Because it's like, oh my god, like this is so different. And then they're going to play the game and they're going to be like, well, theme's right out the window, except for the costumes. But I can't roleplay, I can't get into character when I can't pronounce anyone's fucking name. Or I can't read it, or I'm over here and I'm like, what are you, Bagul? Yeah. Is that your character? Like, what was his name? Brighella. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, heavy gunner guy, just do the same thing that everyone else is doing, except maybe a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. Because I remember and even the daytime actions are repetitive. All right, I guess I'll search. It's like, okay, I'm just going to hold on to this deck. Okay, infected. Get an item. All right, we're done. Mm-hmm. It's just, and then it's long.
Yeah.
This game is long. All for, now that I think about it, yeah, just to get items to do a finale.
Yeah. And to lose barricades.
And maybe get some survivors. But the survivors are only useful if you can get 10 of them and have the medic kill them all to win the game.
No, they're useful in other ways, but
they are. But no, that's easily the coolest way. But yeah, they prevent a damage because you're just like, oh god, you just throw Timmy.
A weird theme idea is we've got the survivors, we save the survivors, now we're gonna sacrifice them.
Pretty much,
like,
yeah.
That's their only reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Are we the heroes? Like, I guess now we're just trying to escape.
Every day and every night is 4 hours.
Yep.
No. Don't call them hours then.
Yeah. Even I thought that same thing when I was like, wait, what? Because it's like, it would make sense if it's like, oh, you're preparing at the sunset and then into the night, but then it's like, wait, 4 hours of night?
Yeah. Like, mechanically it works, thematically it's horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even get into the zombie theme, which, to be fair, I don't like zombie games. Out of all of horror, zombie would probably be at the very bottom. even whenever they're infected and they're fast, it's like, oh no, they're not zombies. They're like Romero zombies. It's like what is it, 28 Days Later when they're fast?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, whatever.
They're fast zombies.
Like who cares?
Yeah.
So
yeah, the survival horror element did not come out to me at all.
no, and I think it's just because the miniatures stay there,
Yep.
like they don't do anything except for being in it, and occasionally you might go, ho ho. Right, man, that was exciting. Yeah, I really felt like we were like in the tower defense, like Project Elite is a perfect example. Like you feel like Starship Troopers, or you feel like whatever, where you're just mowing down hordes of enemies and feeling like a badass, using some special laser weapon to like beam rifle down. You feel that. Mm-hmm. Here, I never felt like we were like holed up on these boxes, fucking Les Miserables style, but shooting down onto zombies and as they were encroaching on us and like clawing at I never felt that.
Why, instead of having that, like having a meter that you could fill where you could take an additional action, or I mean, I see this game, I like deck building, but I could see this game, and it's not my job to come up with more interesting elements to make this game work better.
Right.
Like, this game is a deck builder. If you were taking your actions from a deck that everybody had their own private deck from, would be interesting. There's a bunch of other interesting shit that they could do that isn't so fucking random. But
yeah, and it was also weird. You were mentioning kind of the items and stuff like that. Every character has their own deck of items, which I like. I think that's unique. They're all tied to the character. But what's also fucking weird is like, I'm gonna go do a search action. Only for me though. I found my ritual cup. It's like, well, or a barricade. But it's just so weird that it felt like they were trying to come up with stuff to do.
Right.
Like, well, we want a day and night phase, but what the fuck did we make them do on the day? Like, have fun? No, that can't be it. What if we had them search? Oh, for like unique items that you can distribute throughout the group? No.
Build barricades.
How about everyone's selfish and they're searching for their own stuff? It's just so weird that's how you get your own items. Like, you're right. I think a deck builder would have been better, because at least it would have
Tower
made
defense
sense.
deck builder. Interesting concept.
Well, it's better than whatever the hell this is. Tower defense nap time, where everyone gets you play this game with people who just got off like a really long shift, so whenever it's eventually their turn, they can finally and then they get a few quick Z's in. Yeah, the pile of corpses is gimmicky as hell. Mm-hmm. It's fun to do, but again, it's just more of just, we need just something else. Right. Why not just throw a dexterity element in there? Because who cares? Those idiots who are going to buy the game, they're just going to...
Instead of having a set limit, or instead of having like a maximum or something that most games would have, it's like, let's throw an element of random chance that they think they can control.
That they think is cute, because that'll be the only exciting part of the entire night phase, is that when you kill them, it's just like, oh man, I killed 3. Ooh! Like, that was the most fun I had every single night, was dropping those fucking cubes on to try and make a game out of it. Because this was not doing it for me.
Yeah.
But I also think you're right. Most other games would be, I want to say Arcadia Quest, but I know there's been other games where it was kind of like a small competition of like, if I kill these, then it goes on a meter. Like, that's I killed them, so like it fills up a track, and it's like, oh, now that I filled up the track, I can remove stress, or I can, take an extra action. Mm-hmm. No, none of that. You just drop them on a cardboard thing, and then hope they don't fall off, because then if they do fall off, they go back on the thing, and you take a stress.
Yeah. Anytime you're given a limited amount of actions you can choose from, eventually they're going to go stale after replay.
That's true. Yeah. Unless the game is solid. I mean, because if you think about it, like Pandemic is fully cooperative. I mean, you do have quite a few actions, but you do the same ones over and over, but you're engrossed in the strategy the whole time.
Yeah, and the game is so solid as far as the revolving elements, whereas this is just... I mean, when you get to a certain point, when the corpse pile gets full, you're just recycling the same because you're eventually going to knock over some every single time, and there's
Yeah.
more and more added. So you're constantly gonna have things in the perimeter,
Right.
and you're gonna be taking out larger and larger groups. So that's why I say if you had meters full, then you're getting a reward for killing a group, because you could kill a group of 50 of them, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's,
Yeah, I mean, just don't even attempt to drop them, because you just put them right back out.
yeah.
I know I don't know who has the item. I think one of you guys must. There's an item that clears off the entire
Yeah, didn't you see? thought it was one of
pit
yours.
pile of
Maybe,
corpses.
possibly.
But that's a one-time use, and this is kind of like you're not going to get all these cards.
You're not even going to get maybe 4 or 5 in a full game.
Yeah, it's just
Or the thing that brought back things.
barricades from the it must be one of you two, because I thought it was the medic, because it was like I thought it was like I was gonna say chloroform, but that's not it. It's no. And that's the thing is like
The
also
Gravedigger would be the one who's the card.
the item cards. It's like in how well or how easy or hard a knight is basically just gonna be how lucky your item card draws are.
A lot of it.
Because imagine if, like, it's like, okay, I finally got an item for the medic, and it's like, oh, the sacrificial dagger? Okay, that does nothing. Like, yeah, we have to get all the survivors out, so I guess prioritize those just so we can win.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also stuff like Lambrosia's Works. This is just a passive. When using your character's day ability, recover a stress. Oh, man, okay, so I can treat others and also heal myself. I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that some of these are more opportunistic than others, and you have to weirdly go out and search for them. It's just fucking odd.
Yeah.
This game is weird. This game is weird and not fun. Like, so, yeah. You guys have anything else on the traversal of the Venice map is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It would mean more if we were more familiar with Venice, I would think.
I guess, but even then, it's like there's.
We could get into the theme if we had a clue. Oh, cool! I know that building. I've been there. It's fun to pretend we're in there defending it from zombies.
Yeah.
But I don't. I see what you're saying, and I do agree that. But that's why they have it here. It's like, oh, we're in location 7. That's Rialto Bridge.
Oh yeah.
It spans the Grand Canal, which divides Venice in two. Ancient and magnificent, a lot of small shops appear along its ramps. A legacy of the city's trading opulence. But even then, it's like, it's so specific that, yeah, I guess you would have to have some, I'm from Venice, kind of background to really get into it. Because I was going to say, well, I don't know shit about Warhammer 40k, but I can still get into the theme, but that's also just kind of your whatever sci-fi that you don't have to know a lot about it. But it helps if you do. It's just, this game is weird.
Yeah.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give Carnival Zombie 2nd Edition? And to be fair, I haven't played 1st Edition, so I can't compare or contrast
Right.
what was in 1st Edition.
I'm gonna say the artwork doesn't save it from being a 3 for me.
Wait, dang, okay. Wow, okay. Yeah, wow. That's a lot lower than even I was going to give it.
Well, don't let me talk you out of it.
I'm at a 5 right now. I mean, that could change if I played it again, but I'm not going to. So
That's exactly where I'm at. I'm at a flat 5. Like, I think this is as average as it comes. As we were talking more and more, I was like, man, I might start disliking more stuff, but not enough to give me like a visceral reaction of just like, ooh, like I wouldn't play it again, even if like, because that's the thing is like, I don't want to just do a scenario because that just seems whatever. Like, I feel like I'm missing part of the game,
Sure.
but I don't want to play the actual game to get to a scenario. Yeah, so it's like, if I want a tower defense, I'm just going to play Project Elite. If I want to play scenario-based games, there's millions of others. But similar to this, where it's a sheet, I'll play Robinson Crusoe.
yeah.
If I want to play a zombie game, which I never do, Dead of Winter is probably my favorite zombie game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
there are a bunch, but like I said, I don't seek out zombie games. If I want to play an infected game, I'll play Pandemic. And I think that's where this game kind of falls flat. It's worse than all the sum of its parts are worse than something else, and them together doesn't make a fun game. And this game is dated. Second edition to me feels like it's just a bougier version of the first edition, so it's 9 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And the second edition feels like a 9-year-old game.
Yeah.
So, 5 out of 10. Not the worst, not what I was expecting to actually give it after playing it. I was like, but yeah. Alright, well, that's our thoughts on Carnival Zombie. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.